forse consideri now the part der pin the bench allora poi sarà off pinch so very strong team but now the execute he has the for that and for Atalanta as well considered that just 12 points behind the ACMilan. Their outscore forward here's Ben Masconi, who we are discovering this season for the Atalanta first team, regular with the other 23 side for the last couple of seasons. It's not often you see that Modric dispossessed the desire that he's showcased recently that has Zidane Juric very happy indeed, not worried about the fact that the reigning African footballer of the year hasn't yet opened his account this season. Slap the pass, this one the front, but Chuck the guitar. Except this game, I was watching Pashalic's position over well presently Patrick how Atalanta would have shaped tonight in look Pashalic's son. The play of this ACMilan, Luka Modric. Long-time teammates in the national setup as well, but Croatian is Mario Pasalic, Luka Modric. Fofana. Sananakis ran into Edison, but he was fouled by the Brazilian. Sananakis is taking the free kick quickly, reaching it out. Tisagi. They've offed up Acosta. Tisagi's won it back. Sananakis, Rafael, he wants the return. Leao. Back towards him by Fofana. Lovely one-touch football from Milan. Now Gambia, Spacco is out against them, but good start for the Rossoneri. Yeah, but in the ACMilan, one touch football, the combination. Sananakis not making out at all. Somebody a quarter off the round. Don't want it. And he's home to his fighting the road, coming you. Do against on the challenge in here. Bit of stroke water between the Fofana and Leao. They're chicken up back by the Salamanca's, but they're on just beside what is Hahabo. Milan will be a threat for this corner. Don't gap your Pavlovic, all three members of the back three. Abdusagi squeeze it in. Ahanor away. That's Ricci through the trap. Oh, that into the back of the day. A big print on the face. So Satwin Amici. But gives Milan the perfect start. This is first goal for the Rossoneri. The incredible, we say, the sunset these are the goals. It's coming from a shot on this third side. I'm sure it's calmness and keep it. Support is in front of him. That's it from the replay. 2 years by Ahador. Yes, at least at the match of by Henderson. No chance of gun the second. This is the perfect start. The ACMilan wanted to have here. Edison trying to stop the shot. Little did he know the Padnisek he might well have kept it out had he not deflected it. Disappointment for the Atalanta goalkeeper, who came out on Saturday and said they needed to give themselves a wake-up call. Well, this has been a rude awakening for LaDea. Very early need to be that. Yes. Did convention by Ricci. As it was good to hit the target, but the side shot by Peterson changed everything. This is a wonderful start for the Rossoneri here. Against a team that is struggling to score goals. Perfect start for Allegri. It's just under 4 years since Milan won in Bergamo on that occasion. They did score inside the first minute though. Davide Calabria on target, so an early goal. Sergio Orca as well. For the Rossoneri. Fofana puts it into touch. Allegri will hope that Milan can build on this advantage. Play really an out decent back into the game. Then through that early goal through Rafael against the Tuscan side didn't really consolidate their advantage. Quadrado with the penalty equalizer. Inzola then had these heading to maximum points. De Ketelana away from Padleric. Corner to Atalanta this time. Yeah, putting up by the number 17 opposite. He's got something to prove. Goes past Padleric. It's a mismatch. But he's up. Though the Ketelana spotted this 5 or 10 meters up. their legs. But now they got the chance from corner. Bernasconi with the set piece. Being attacked. Had always there as well. And then at the end, this is a good defending by Jimenez, I think. He's that defending Zolda. Yeah, a couple of blocks. Then the end should bring with Jimenez. Can do better for there to defend that. But good work by Jimenez himself. Biggest team will set pieces. Tells you how long ago it was. It suits me that one. Like the Bergamo, you could see the Capri, I'll get the former Rossoneri captain is better with the club. That's last season, in fact. Sandro Tonali as well, one of the goal scorers. Perfect in the Premier League. Rafael, he is still there. And he remains Milan's most important player, perhaps, or their best in terms of output and performances. That's probably Christian Pulisic of the last 2 seasons. For in terms of pure dignity, hard to argue with now. Yeah, if they start, especially now that it's playing a defensive position up front alongside the team, and it's still finding it there very often. Well, it's also well against the Pisa hold, but the Norris, he will keep defending it again, game after game. He has scored in 2 straight fixtures. What Milan would love is to see Real scoring 4 or 5 matches on the bounce. Durant, Mastroeni, Hahador. What's a young Italian talent in this Atalanta side? Honest having onwards at 18 until early next year. Which is why he's happy to told it. Any of the Italian youth setups just yet. More limits they'll be to foreign parents. And Allegri, speaking about the Owl, said he's getting fitter and he's starting to believe that he has what it takes to play up front. So it sounds like, first and foremost, that Allegri has to actually convince Leao that he can operate as the centre forward. He helps put us because we know him. He loves his part from the left side of the park, can cut in with his right. Scored already a couple of goals this season, which is typical move. Left by Derod. Masconi with another ball in. This time it's headed away by Fofana. Tosudo. De Catalana. He managed to chip a piece of the ball, but he's been penalised. Yeah. He didn't think. Yes, he's got a boat. The number 7. Did wake the fun for him. De Catalana with Norris got his second check shot of base. No, Atalanta's got another. Chance. You have too late. Slided tackler. I don't think in the moment at all. Even the 5 policies. Clearly, they're kind of clear effects to get a quick gesture in the referee's direction, but should have been a caution, so it proved. We should say that Atalanta was drawing half a dozen of the first 8 matches. There have been some extenuating circumstances. They had to bring Lupa back into the fold after that failed move to interim as Thomas Gamak has been out injured. They've left Edison for the bulk of the campaign, so they'll be now getting a full squad to pick from. Jerome waits on the edge of the box. Zappacosta teases it in. Ahador. It's gapped there away. Modric calmly finds Salamakis. He's very comfortable on the ball. Salamakis. What a pass that is for Santi Jimenez. Ben scoring on the cover. Yeah, we always mention Pulisic, that I talk Pulisic to Lea Alba. Salamakis is up there. He don't want one of the best there with that Rossoneri jersey. Richie. This is now particular Ginza from the back. You can see one of the 3 centre back for this occasion. Gatia is going there in the middle of the park, very like a sit in the theatre. Is that about an upburn? Running it Samori, Lupman. Salamatris will try and prevent a corner. He has to succeed. Gay tried to head shoes on. Gatia lost the ball there. The dangerous one, and Nukman didn't take his Supported Horner to drive the ball at the ACMilan defenders. It tried to find the gap between RivalryNight. My word, just a quarter. Zlatan and Zamori know each other very well. They were part of England under-20 World Cup winning squad. Lippman then declared the Nigeria at senior level. Ben Mascotti's corner towards Passionage. They're out through the crowd and it's soft target. The second time that Mascotti is trying to eat the front post now. Hello, sub distance. Didn't hit the target like Richie did. The opening 3-meter. That's what you need also this time. Sometimes just eat the target. Something can happen. Long by Mignon. Liao is after it. Kosuda just about dealt with the ball and the danger. Ahanor under pressure. Terod. Savori played the ball ahead of Lutler. This is Fofana. Well, the wrestler gave himself time to pause and consider it. Then decided it was a foul by Savori. Definitely, sir. He waited for that part pitch to be played, and here you can see there is a touch collision between the forward and right foot and the white boot. Well, it's not hard boot, but this season does have been an issue for Atalanta. Well, the first glance, when you consider they'd scored a dozen from their 8 matches, the same as with 12 points now at the table. So when you consider 7 of those draws came across match days 3 and 4, the 4-1 win here at the Lecce, a 3-0 victory at Torino. It's been slim pickings besides. Zappacosta. Straight into touch. Yeah, at the moment they're missing the main target up front. They wanted just to be able to take it. Scored 20 plus goals every season. 25 in Serie A last season, 28 on the total. The Mother Lippman also got into the 20s. He got 20 across all competitions, but he certainly had a disrupted summer again. Seen that in the past with him agitating for moves to Paris Saint-Germain this summer. And he was determined to go to Inter, but he'd been promised a move. But it medicates a pass given away by Zappacosta. He is wanted to release Liao. There was on the same wavelength. It's in ways that ACMilan got the ball Pachakiza. He is coming deep, floating in the pockets. And Liao is playing like a puppet. Number 9, looking every time with a puck behind him about the defender's shoulders. Good to see Savarerici getting goals. Himself as a Serie the stand down here of his game. Allegri also said that he feels that in a few years' time, Ricci will be able to develop into someone who can play in front of the defense. Position that Modric is currently occupying. Ricci seeing more games out because of the injury to Adrian Rabiot. Zappacosta. Edison. Time and space for Apador. Pednasconi. So now you can see, look, what these are the back in his favorite position. Pednasconi, Apador. They can swap positions there. Apador is comfortable by this. Abrache to a left centre back, and as Quinzo left wing back. Juven for Passionate. Looked like a foul by Ricci. The Owls giving it away. Milan still had it with Fofana. Ball touch by Berlusconi, and then he had stepping away from Salamakis. Yeah, but it's profit that the edge of the ACMilan blocks up for now. Hapa the bucket in possession. Passionage. It is one of those weeks where you can take significant moves in SerieA to go on a bit of a run. I've already seen that with Napoli beating Inter Saturday, winning out here. They seem to be putting the pressure on their rivals. Difficult game for both Milan clubs. Milan here at Bergamo. Inter at home tomorrow night. A Fiorentina side who are, yes, winners, however, still post quality in their ranks. Who knows what Juventus will get up to after Massimo Brabin and the weren't here for many years. So Atalanta's Primavera side, it was bit the under-19s, now the under-20s. He's the deputy interim coach until it was a successor to Igor Tudor. Tahador. Developed. Didn't reach Rutman, well read by Modric. Put forward by Median. Missed by Leal, but Ricci rubs me off turn. Still there for someone at Ricci. That could be a corner, a passionate. It is. Yeah, spews of corner. I think Atalanta doesn't have just here this kind of pass just because LaDea are very compact and waiting to what it. Now they are in transition. Sergio Percassi, supported by his son Luke Heathers, the CEO. Both have a supporting pass themselves. Milan scored from a corner earlier on. Ball cleared only as far as Ricci. Did need a deflection, but have an opportunity again from a dead ball situation. Hodger saying, look, but it's the back 10 yards. Hodger to the corner. Supper Costa finds touch. Played short for this one situation, but this couldn't receive. Hello? And they can team. Tapjizaki. It's a good ball. Jerome was out to head it clear. Davide Tapjizaki, another boss, taking his opportunity with head Mr. Stupidian still in shoot. The Stupidiani should be back inside the Milan's Mets game, which is a hug to Robo. As for Christian Pulisic, he's slated to resume match of Atalanta the game after the other match, just the final one before the February international break, incidentally. Loose by Matliseki, straight to Bial. Sanabak is in support. Now it's Fofana. Atalanta get numbers behind the ball. Tobori. I might be top, though. But I've seen Polishari and Pavlovich. Osuna is to be careful. Pavliseki clears. The Atalanta does not have to take any of this. Pavliseki twice. Fofana. He in a way, this is Osuna. Home crowd getting a little bit agitated. Safa Costa took the ball. So they're not making the most of these open spaces. They're successfully boxing them in. And Bresciamini, big prepared, was he to rescue the point. And Crabada, by their big record, was Fab to wins after Jamie Vardy's won his first goal in Italian football until Bresciamini didn't go in on the volley to the edge of the box. Who's not the problem, well? Putaboy, if Suffolk is caught, is probably part quite the tactical change. What did that on here? Well, the captain telling off, you would assume it is a fitness issue. Unlikely to be tactical in nature, but Dano's reaction, shaking the head, which seems to be that he's not feeling 100% right, but sure, get an explanation in the coming hours. That quizzical look on the face of one of Milan Junic's backroom staff means it's probably not tactical in nature. He's feeling something. Yeah, because he's escaped. Want him to stay to be in the game. SanSiro is making he and work hard to keep the ball. So Bresciamini wants him in up there, fed through their academy. An unexpectedly longer opportunity than previously imagines. Modric unable to find Leal, but see plenty of misplaced passes out from the back of LaDea. Yeah. But the pit voice high, everybody wants to retain possession immediately. They're going to lose it. Passionate, seeking out Edison. Gabby across. Manuel's clearance straight to the GoAtalanta. Now it's Passionate, should put in space. This is Edison. They've let it fly her. And Manuel makes the save. They had good chance on about the candidates love the blood pass. So make one yard. Then Passionate probably waited the right time to serve Edison. Because you were in outside position. Good first touch, then enough power in that shot. Decent save by Vigneault because he went between the legs of Gambia. Edison scored the winning goal at SanSiro with these two men back in the spring. So here it's Milan through one of their new signings, Savarinici. To Kittilaria. Costa. Kosuru now. Costa. Trying to force his way past Baftuzagi. The Atalanta. Jesus tried to eat ACMilan in the wider area. They got just a look what pass. That's partially give it off the box. Pereshevini. So lower quickly at home. Look at there is. Costa, the GoAtalanta. Atalanta big patient. And I said it's a passionate just taking me up outside, stood up, went off. Ederson with the switch of play. Bermasconi. Ahador. Long spell of possession, had not really gone anywhere with the ball, however, LaDea. Kosunu. Passionate, away by Pavlovic. Leao turned into trouble. Atalanta win it back high. Leao apologizes. Costa. To GoAtalanta with the cross. And again, only Stahanor to just decent from Atalanta. He should been enough. Even the ball, well, passes up. Let's find it there. Costa. So the GoAtalanta, this is a decent ball on the back post area. Hard challenged by Tovare in the air. But he's in a, that thing, but you just fight defenders outside their own box and wait in the right moment to read in transition with now with the pace they've got found. But you know, when Atalanta loses ball up there, he can wait it immediately because it is just he managed plus Serie outside their own box. Atalanta do have the option of turning to a genuine centre forward in the second half, but Skamaka and Kapstovich are on the bed. This is Edison. Reshamini. Jupman. Deluding Fofana, at least initially. The French will want it. It's given away to by Salamakus. Milan having again. Salamakus. Lovely skills from here. Costa there to make sure it didn't reach Leao. The wants the opponent in front of him, but again, no urgency from Leao to chase back. Benvasconi. Put it up by Salavata Split, set that up for Costa. He did even a better job, but Prescerini saw Lukman making the diagonal run inside, couldn't find it. Samori so far has kept Lukman very quiet. Edison. To GoAtalanta, had to drop a shoulder. Now Pavlovic, Leao and Jimenez all forward in this attack. Jimenez, Pavlovic, Leao on his left shoulder. Pavlovic goes the other way. Prescerini back. Yeah, that play of Pavlovic meant to be thought of to be out rather than Pavlovic. But you can see that's the pacing on the part now, especially considering this corner. They're leading 1-0. Waited, and wide number to wait. They all with Jimenez tended at someone coming from behind. This time was Pavlovic. Pamo, surely if you're a Legby there and you see a transitional moment like that and the ball being played towards Biao and you see your centre back intercepting it, Pavlovic, surely you're absolutely furious. Yeah, of course, first the Woods shot for Leao to get the ball, try at players using Pavlovic as a decoy for an overlapping situation. Here's Lukman. Nice toast control. Achelech delivers. Was Ahanor trying it. Costa struck it really cleanly. some strike with the Arsenal and some zappa course and again had a pin the box up in the most dangerous player. Tried a spectacular overhead kick. Then the ball into zappa costa area. Decent strike out wide. But we saw another player bought in 2008 who's on that for Milan for just come out. They're taking it, I think, a penalty saved for Lecce earlier on against LaDea. Only Rossoneri's a contemporary has come out there. Fofana's lost out. Rossoneri charging forwards, trying to square the Lupin. Milan have lost it to Masconi, who then forgot the ball. Salamakers. Tamori. Ricci's now giving it away. Hasanic. And there's Hadaya. Chevrini has scored. What a chance. This was for the youngster from Genoa. Here, this lost possession. Partially chipping feature to supported Ahadon. What the job that just did enough probably. So the number 6 has to rush this shot. Had to keep it low, and yeah, maybe might have a chance to fight with that. Keep the ball low. And make me ask you, by the kid at Shina, maybe keep the head up and watch what's around them because so many Canada's spells in possession. Fostergas with the ball. Ricci will be relieved having scored the other. He nearly made a mistake there for. Could have been equaliser. Reminder of Sakamiatsu Kame, Fulton. He's the second. On Friday before then scoring an added time equaliser of his own. But Ahanor looks ready for this level. It's to Atalanta invested heavily in him. Just as I said that, he's headed it straight to Jimenez. And again, we see why Atalanta are this high up in between the same field they should be. Juric rather optimistically said, had we had players like Rupert and Skramakov said, we'd have had 8 more points at the table. That means 20 before the start of playing. It would have put them top of SerieA. Perhaps a slight exaggeration. Yeah, I don't know, but you can see that the Hunter team is creating chances. I'm sure that many are thirdly out for that backlash this day. Crowd here at Bergamo trying to do its bit. Milan haven't offered a lot for this 1-0 lead. That shot from Ricci, the Benetton of a deflection early on. They hadn't needed to do a great deal since then. Modric. Hana was put the license to go forward or Patrick Cotitinella. I played the two strikers. Jimenez and the also. He had the Palazzo Cosuru stay with Dan. So I had to get boy join the team, but going forward. We saw Katsusa in the stadium this evening. Is he watching Ahano? I think so. I think so. It's good watch him. Italy needs some even is that position, but sometimes it does not. Finish him. Then Masconi. Look, playing left leg. Freshani. No sooner the Passionage. Milan allowing Atalanta to keep the ball. Zappacosta. Freshani. Lupman's dangerous from here. Lupman seeking space to shoot. He's away from Modric. It's a foul by Lupman on Fofana. Tia ambitious. Several plenty up. Trying to get to be able to go past. So the far I see that plays in the renewably tight area. Can see in between single players. This is part 6 step on full tap. The zone 1 of Toby's so on, especially with the very small shin pads players tend to use these days. Not much protection to the ankle, and that's where Fofana was caught. And I think will be very considered. Already missing Shadi and Rapio in that area of the field. Plus, Estupinian and Pulisic still out injured as well. They do have Loftus-Cheek who's fit again, but look, it's at the second position. And does. Katriseki said there's one other touch from Edison. Yeah, I think so. Feels even ill. Could believe I was the last one. Catch Pavlasek already on the ground, David. I think I've already created a couple of decent chances to score. That he quite onto Derby, be able to share some words of wisdom with the team. The dressing room at half-time, but unable to guide them on the pitch, having sustained what we believe is an injury early on in his head. Leal foul point was suited from behind, just as Atalanta thought they pitched possession back. And after those two excellent performances against Fiorentina and Pisa, we see very beaten from Leal in the ending half an hour. Dep has been quiet so far. Facing it on a bottle, that chance yet. The other couple of Poblating fancy shut them. Did catch Hafador. Hafador's technically playing less centre back. His Benfascoli left wing back, but Miles de Minotti seems to be Hafador in the more advanced position and Ben Mastoni tucking in. Yes, but he's still a thick quad up there. They seem like midfielders, like in this occasion though. He stays with Fofana. We are now. First suitor's done well. Ace across the ground. Zappacosta. To Kitanaria. Now, as to Kitanaria got an issue. Or did he just give a shove? Yeah, I think it was just a collision though. So does he play the ball? Yeah, maybe a bit post. Yeah, he tried to cook. This is good. Though the yellow card me a bit, but the game was not. But the Catalans were trying to take the freaky quickly and they were playing the ball towards the Kitanaria. Could have been case for a yellow card. Avador. Given away to Modric. Real. Fofana. Santi managed for some space on the far side. There's Fofana now. He takes it on himself. Shot is blocked. Days through the bodies. Clear patch of them. Waited the right time. Lead up Atalanta. In position. Counter-attack. He pasted got front plus midfielders. Coming later. Like they did now with the Fofana. Partizani. Di Bene is losing out to the end. Vescerini. Atalanta in a hurry near. Vescerini. He hit. Yupman waits in the middle, so too did Kitanaria. No sound on the air pints on Ore. Sananaku's asking for white shirts to get ball in support. Modric. Giving away to Zappacosta. Did this in the first half partnership, the usual. That's a clever ball for Zappacosta. Taking on Pavlovic. To Kitanaria. Now Passionage. Kind of heavy. It's not that. This part. They started it, Milan here last season. And kind of over them, but that kept up the goals for LaDea. With a big finish for the equaliser. Yeah, but particularly tell you a couple of things. The first one about the pass. Frank Passionage. He has the pull weight on the pass. What he's grabbing intercepted. In this second round, it's all about this touch by the Adebona Nutland. The touch made everything. It was perfect. For the strike, this is a wonderful finish by Adebona Nutland. Players can't be forgiven. And certainly, goals are a pretty good way of saying sorry to a fan base still unhappy with it, rather summer. Yupman wanted to lead. LaDea were bitterly disappointed. But he still plays in Bergamo. And he's still at this bad man. In attack. Think time to that quite checking. Hadebon looked like was he shut up. But it looked like there was a defender on this side of the park that was skipping in. front side. But also, that ball becomes a collector's item. I need that Juric side in level. Finally, Atalanta beginning to take some of their chances, and no surprise that the man who took the opportunity was Atalanta, the African Footballer of the Year. Şimdi finisa, Samuel pozisyon plastik, ama isabad we're seeing him starting from there. For it's all about the passage pass, and then yes, the finish was slide. But that's since May, but look at the first goal for Atalanta in 169 days. It's been a long time coming. And a parallel universe who was scoring goals this season for Inter, then instead Atalanta stood their ground, having sold Retegui, they kept Lookman. And after him going on strike, refusing to join up the training, he's now playing from the start, week in, week out, several times a week. And the bubble scoring now. And from this, Manuel, do you expect him to go on a goal scoring run? Yeah, of course. But we thought what he's capable of. He's just got hand pass, 16 pass, balls, and provide assists. It's just better of Pine. So he's a well deserved goal on course. This will sit 20 deep. The get fast, we'll see why I think has been talking about the top four rather than a title push. But is SerieA still there for the Mexico International, and he was offside. But he had been put to Allegri and been out playing 1 day a week to emulate what Napoli did last season by winning Serie A. However, Allegri has consistently talked about getting Milan back into the Champions League, and what he did say before the Pisa game was, if you want to win the Scudetto, you need to concede between 20 and 25 league goals. Well, Milan are conceding too many. 1 against Fiorentina, 2 against Pisa. Both teams sheet to 9-9. Yeah, but something we love. He often starts. There's never room about that, of course. But you can see that they see began after City goal, they already changed repeat their philosophy and go companies on the town that should be sad. Sit after Jordan Deere, yes, he's a son wide the head of his head. Flip the other winner in this fixture last season, that was back in early December. This is how close he was. Said the thick pub on it. Yes, all he said is Gabia, but he's skipping. You look for one on the side, though he's not Gabia. He's Salamanca. Which is better, the touch or the finish? I think the touch setup and the thin punch. Yes, of course it's a wonderful finish. The front post here. You can blame it all by to destroy. For Bruno forgot the intensity. Generate enough flowers. The keeper doesn't have any chance to save it. Last season, the finish Atalanta 2, Milan 1. Showed the Atalanta scoring against Milan, having never found the net. There is 40 bridges for the Rossoneri. Alvaro Morata equalised mid-lane through the first half. Wilmans forgot that Morata had a spell at Milan. It was very short-lived, leaving mid-season, and then eventually Shoni Koma had Lookman with a stooping back post header late on. Got the winning goal. That was around the time when Atalanta were winning 11 games in a row in Serie A. All the way up until March, we thought they were very much in the title race along with Napoli and Inter. They just fell away in the spring. Santa Grebadic, not looking amused. There again, that's pretty much his resting face. Yes, I remember they lost that whole year against that team the day they faded away. Let's see if you can remember the 2 Inter goal scorers. One was from Sepis, 1 million%, the Carlos Augusto, correct. And the second one, that's out of Martina. Yes. Both at that end of the ground where Lidman has just scored. Bresciani should be Pavlovic just to deal with, headed straight to it, but no. With sudden Atalanta, the ascendancy, the Atalanta. Zappacosta, Edison waits on the edge. Zappacosta stands it up. Passionate. Fofana, very cool. Wow. Sweet part of the Fofana first. That's how the choice was there. But somehow it's Zappacosta, another forward back, wing back, as you want to call. That is equal every time to put this in, causes it the Salamanca is lovely touch, Ready Benes. Ricci lets it run about Lusagi. Now LaDea making a run. Was the right ball just overhead. So it was the right wing first love. Habla fell out. Coming short and then a pocket behind. There the pawn was too happy for about the side hit. But you know, Patrick, when you are playing is as you're fitting the point with that played without the strike, and watch that three, they seem that defenders. He points out about they're coaching too much possession from Atalanta. Because Atalanta's got extra bad in the middle of the park. Henderson. Zappacosta. That was a feat we were discussing on Saturday. Napoli's win over it, so the fact they made Neris as a false nine. Someone like a Chet, he's used to marking a centre forward. Didn't have any reference point. Same here this evening. Atalanta putting opposition players out of spaces. To Kitanada. Lookman. Spread good fade again. And now here's Zappacosta. Still it's Zappacosta. It's a corner. Papate did see Atalanta plays up every single time it serves of the second ball. Every time there is the ball. Yeah, parking it. I don't want to win. You win it immediately and now they got colder. So 3 minutes to go. Atalanta's next two matches are on their travels in two very different places. They go to Friuli to take on Udinese, then it's Champions League matchday 4 action against Marseille. Someone who's some pressure, the head coach, Roberto Nerazzurri. Rivalry between the and Brescia is pretty fierce. Then Atalanta are here against Sassuolo before the November international break. Ben Lasconi with the corner. Nick could have easily got it. Did Atalanta with his head in his hands. Another corner's been awarded. Yeah, I thought we do that. We so physical until the middle of the box. Fem Nasconi with another corner. Too high for Hador. Rossoneri keeps him in play. Modric is there. Now LaDea. One by Saborio, then it's. Yeah, you can see ACMilan wanted to play immediately for the pop. But there wasn't enough found out there. So this battle on the floor. And Edison has had injury issues this season with the meniscus, and Mam's been caught on the knees, so that's something to help. Such an important player for Atalanta, Edison. 60 side from SerieAMatch. There was, after Sabatini, very experienced sporting director who first spotted him and took him to Atalanta. Always had a good eye for a player, Sabatini. As does Tony D'Amico's currently. And it heads up Atalanta's recruitment well with Ivan Juric of Verona. Yeah, that's what he's a complete a bit fit and more than what the kid do. I have to say, couldn't run the full day. Challenge for Atalanta now is to avoid another draw. Try and convert this 1-1 scoreline into a victory in the second half, you would think, at this stage, at the final minute of the third period. Juric continues to park all this from his delicate area. Fosuner. Zappacosta. Again, we're seeing that overloaded midfield. Brescia hit the Chica Watcher sleeves from the defenders. The other trying to make things happen again. Lookman away from Fofana. Here. Zappacosta. So that minutes on the way. Then, of course, to keep Atalanta a chance to reach this last 16. The then ends it can happen there. Shot of these turns, piece of magic. Shofjafodlani, who's the CEO of Milan, one of our senior managers on site. Joffrey Moncada, we saw there. Varici with time of space. Update. This is a scoreline that will make Napoli fans very happy indeed. I'm curious to see whether Milan could respond to their earlier win and they'd share. Havlovic. Gabdia. So Mori finds Ricci. This goal feels like a long time ago now. Modric. Loose touch by Papgazadi. Zappacosta. Distill. Gabdia. Calmly finds Modric. Salamakus can take on that handball here. Still he finds Fofana. Gets the return. Salamakus. No one making a near post run. Fofana. Yeah, but I felt Phobis Milan. It's not about the show. Showed a decent pace as well against Arfable. Hottridge. Ricci. Bertale. Ricci. Milan made an ideal start, but Bianco. But then Hademoda Lutman starts it to grab the game by the scruff of the neck. That's an absolute Starvan with the equalizer. Slipping like another troll free that Juric unless LaDea could find another level and another gear in the second half. At the break, Atalanta 1, Milan 1. Walter back out. Two with the opponents. Arena one each between Atalanta and Milan at the break. Ricci strong. Chance set out by Lookman's first of the season. So started some time before LaDea start there. This is from Tuntu. So fanning on for the second half for Raphael's Liel. Slight surprise, but he did look out of sorts in the opening 45 minutes. The Milan number 10 and have a big game coming up against Roma on Sunday night. So for partner Santi Jimenez for the second half. Atalanta determined not to make it 7 draws of 9. Milan key to make sure they get back to winning ways after dropping 2 points on Friday to Pisa. But let's deal with the immediate news. Manuel Tascari, why has Leal been taken off in your opinion? Is it because he's not performed tonight, or does Allegri have one eye on Sunday evening? I think probably had this some a little physical pepper. The vote it is, support their stuff. There's nothing serious. It's not deep with obviously something different unless a base but also flat like with all of these feet up in tight areas. Does mean that both teams have made a substitution. Atalanta forced into a change early on in the first half. Captain Barton did a kind of injured with Brescianini replacing him. Milan used one of their 5 changes, albeit none of their 3 slots, having made the change at half-time. And it could be fit again after a recent issue with his big toe. He could give his boots on. Still waiting for his first SerieA goal, having scored in the cup against Lecce. Ricci. His ball in. Jimenez pulling away. That would have been special. Chinet down the feed. Something really special. Well, that's what Ricci has to offer AC Milan. The low ball towards about the Zagreb. Ricci's mid up to it. They hide, waiting for the second one. He whizzes it. Good ball hit. Good deliver. Jimenez went for the spectacular one. They are finally out as well for the bench. Clicked on by Passionage. Nice first touch by the GoAtalanta. But setting it from South is Brescianini. This touch was heavy. Milan will be sick of the side about him. He's have up 3 goals in his many appearances here against the Rossoneri. And on the previous 2 occasions when he scored a brace in 2023-24 season. Atalanta won last season. A 2-1 victory. So when he scores against Milan, typically Atalanta can knock 7 points. So we're hoping that rings true again this evening. Hahador. Ben Hasconi. Modric wins the head of it straight to Hahador. Passionage now. Away from Samori. Headed to Metsurat. De GoAtalanta. They've got options here, Atalanta. De GoAtalanta. Maybe all hands on. So they think to want it. Flip to purple headed injury. Foot of the 4th boundaries as he holds his shoulder. His knee, I think, Fachika. The SLSB. He was just back after the kind of night injury as well. So this is the goal that Ricci won. First, awkwardly proud of Karneseki and these days. Look what about the moving the ball side to side. The GoAtalanta pass on the should be first. Great touch by Loquad and top corner. So impressive that first touch of Littman. Didn't have to break stride, just took him off at the pace off the ball. So sets up it, hits it. We are after his 3 goals against Fiorentina and Pisa. No rated pat the save taken now. This will be a concern for Allegri. It's off into Marco Ducci's non-time assistant. Because if we look at the Milan bench, David Otolka would be the natural choice. Cody De Vinter as well. Some more Cody De Vinter than Otolka. But on the good piece already come on off his cheek. Cody just spits again. Atakame is more of a wide player that an option at centre back. Yunus Musa is on loan from Milan. Samori from the lips of Big wants to try and continue. Yeah, but you have to be careful with Patrick's best of the word considering you've got so many games coming. Samori back on. We'll keep an eye on his mobility over the next few minutes. Trying to get the blood to pump those legs again. Pressure immediately goes to pressurize Tamori. Perhaps not the wisest decision for Menyon to begin given the law. So we're thinking the same party. The Australian, the goalkeeper immediately kicks new the ball to Pestive, but over the thanks, mate. Zappacosta. Vescerini. Premastori. Papanor. There's Edison. How passionate. Another player with Milan on his CV. So does this man. The GoAtalanta. The GoAtalanta. Van Edison. Luffman was lurking at the back post. Yeah, but we'll trust him. Look what in the box. Yes, it's not. Don't know if Ederson was looking to shot up pass in the middle of the box. But also just the Nigerian striker inside the box. That it won't play as to attack. Atalanta with 4 consecutive draws across all competitions. And of their 6 draws in Serie A, 5 of them have been by a 1-1 score, which is the way this game is panning out, and if something changes over the next 40 minutes. But of those 4 recent draws on the spin, 2 of them they failed to score in. Stalemates here against Lazio, in Serie A, Sadio Pradi of the Champions League. Hardest side of that 1-1 draw here against Como, and that recent draw at the Serie against Cremonese. Modric. Dapia. Sananak is one thing that has changed for Atalanta, Melo, correct me if I'm wrong, is this man hopping all over the pitch. Yeah, of course, there's a lot of the good skill here by Sananak. Has been a trickery from Edison as well. How should it shall? De GoAtalanta did well to control the ball. Yupman 1v1 with Samori. De GoAtalanta stepping away from Pavlovic. Yupman, De GoAtalanta. Samori won the tackle, needed to as well. Sananak used. Yupman had a nibble. Was a foul by Dither. He's a soft one. But De GoAtalanta is having a decent game. Dovalitien by he's not easy. Take up the ball also. Duncan. Globe on Sunday night, Parma away after that, then after the international break. The derby would ensure the home side in 2 consecutive games against Lazio. First just SanSiro in the league, and laterally at the Olympic on the round of 16 of the Coppa Italia. Milan having already negotiated 2 ties thus far. Modric made it more than under control. Mason Vig, the Milan will ask Sisu's top finalists. Yeah. Now this cup campaign in August, because they were bumped out of the CD's 5 Bologna, the top holders. You'd beat them in Lay's final. Ordinarily 8th place, which is where Milan finished, would have been enough to be seeded. So the following year's Coppa Italia third chance campaign. Saburi. Too much on it for Jimenez. He had made sure that Kabneseki had safe passage to the ball. The ceiling is that if Milan can get through to the November international break, still in touch with the teams at the summit, they'll have a very good opportunity once they recover the likes of Rabiot, Pulisic, Watsi Yashari for the first time as well, and fracture that fibula very early on. This particular shot, top of the Tomarisha players, Pulisic, what's up your who have helped Sputnik qualify the start of the season before the injury. Both of them the habitues on international duty, which will be enraging some of the Rossoneri that base. Bresciavini, Bermasconi. Bresciavini is not particularly quick, but he does shift the ball well. He's another one though. So did use the deep fight for the sleeve. Plenty of confidence up to the board, he scored them. This evening, he'll almost double his 100th season minutes. Bresciavini coming on early as he did for Martin Dino, because he's been used sparingly to set at least by Divan Juric. Before tonight, Bresciavini with just 94 minutes across 7 sub appearances. Didn't stop it from scoring. It's the regional on Saturday. So he might start to flag as the EB wears on. To get to that, usually another Zappacosta is Lutman. Still there, but Nerazzurri. He'll try it, yeah. And he miscued twice. Then again, in wonderful first touch by Hadimon undercut. Sananak is Ricci. The Pumba there, the by Passionage. Terrible of play from Ricci. Just used his body to protect the ball. It's amazing how Luka Modric is playing 90 minutes week in, week out for Milan, despite being 30 years of age now. The bell would hit me, but it's well punching some big pass spot him as well. But maybe he feels you can't do it out him. Nothing he will have to do it out Kevin De Bruyne. Still 2025 at the very least. I think he's injured against Inter of Saturday. So all teams tend to suffer injuries. It's about how well you manage them, how well you cope in the absence of key players. Evastoni intercepting the loose ball. Hahano walks it from Bresciavini, who instead was looking to look at the minutes. Ricci now. Milan have quickly become an angry team. They tend to create dozens of chances. Nice flick there by Fontanas up to Jimenez. The end was strong, but the referee saw it as a foul. I think that RivalryNight to play just a count up behind the striker. We've seen a couple of times setting up goals for his teammates. I remember the beautiful patch for pass and for Pulisic against Delpolit at the Piazza. Enough to play there. He's put some skills as well. And a lovely stick as well for LaDea. It's a good ball. Lipman now can't get racing back. Lipman spotted Edison making the run at the corner. Yeah, for the second that he was put to try and pull on it and got, yeah. And then he spotted it and sort of run. He tried to play it. Yeah, this chap where shot it in for Jimenez. Start shielding the ball in light, for example, which did the top of moments earlier. SanSiro is holding his ankle. It's a fair challenge live, and if veered that way, and you saw the replay too, referee saying he is keeping time. From Proud Pui, as the taking of his corner is delayed. But Fofana with a lovely touch, a Pulisic goal against Napoli, actually flicked on through the legs of a decent defender. Leão hit the crossbar on Friday evening. Otherwise, it would have been back-to-back braces for the Milan number 10. Atalanta with the bulk of the corners this evening. Not made full use of them just yet. Mastroni takes. Ricci away. Back in by Edison. Kids allowed Dimi to challenge. Mignon was favourite for him. Perhaps the Belgian Miami was offside in any case. Zappa Costa has to go engage. Salamakis. Hatizaki. Not a good ball. Not at all partic. You need quality there and product. Never sure what the Catalano was trying to do there, but was still published by himself or server. Zappa Foster. Now we've got a Bergamo, and this is not what Milan need. LaDea missing several players. A reminder, they had 5 first teamers on the bench tonight, plus 2 goalkeepers, and now Santi Jimenez who's down. And the 4th official, Gianluca Manganiero, is ready with the ball. Well, Loftus-Cheek can play in a more advanced position. He's going to have to now. Kind of Doron has some stage this evening anyway, but who knows whether this was part of the plan to introduce it after an hour. And Santi Jimenez is coming for criticism for some people feel was simulation against Fiorentina, but apart from the fact he has scored in Serie A this season. Now makes way for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Zero the ball for Allegri. Hopefully Loftus-Cheek would be sitting us to play the next step of the minutes. You can't play there. See, assist of Shitsimba. Hello? Behind. Cool. Milan haven't been able to rotate as they might have otherwise done so had they had those players available for selection. Fofana releasing Salamakis. That's a bizarre decision to let for a good. They could have shot. They could have played it just there. Hit the air. He played it to his right and wasted a chance. Yeah, that's a George Charles wasted. You've done everything. Who I agree on. Combination. Yes, it's like with your left forward. If you had the chance, maybe serve of Bob Desaki completing out back on your left. That is going to square the pass towards him, Coco. Well in by Fofana, the touches everywhere has to be there. Just should quick for Mastroni. Fofana, Loftus-Cheek, into his stride. Dog kicked in the end. Yeah, lost the partners. Yeah, but they play wide Fofana. Posts up at Jit. But then at the point, he tried to lose his soul to keep the ball inside. I think he has been talking all about how injuries tend to rise at this stage of the season. He said between the October and November international breaks because of the accumulation of matches, how much football players play for its Tatabat country. And yes, you can say they have had European football. The couple of extra matches, those games against Bari and Beccia and the Coppa Italia, plus this midweek round, which means everyone plays 3 times in the space of a week. Away by Guillen. Gapio on the header. Vedla scoring with a tired touch. Here now popped up. Interesting card though. Missed the ball. They weren't able to keep the ball like they did in the first half. Fofana has done really well. Happened, although it's found Edison. Meets the Brazilian again. Center back here. It's smelt like a passionate. Hammer wins it back. And yes, look at the sequel by Pavlovic. He was. Re-kick Atalanta. No, the referee waved play on. Yeah, we saw this one particular to the fodder. Buffetti was going to give a foul for ACMilan, but no. touch it off his cheek. Pavlovic did Sudmude. Fatusaki is Loftus-Cheek. Had very cool and tongue by Kosudo. Hey, this is not for so far I think now Kosudo. Here comes the second title play in the opening. They get at it. This is the paddle service. Loftus-Cheek would look to have called out decent header. Kosudo did so well did. Sort of good have bought in front of Kosudo. The Apollo, Gagabo, they keep photo of the big support. So it does look like both sides are determined to try and win this match. With Kunkursleya, Loftus-Cheek. Well, Fatusaki. Ian has once again been penalised. What was wrong with that challenge? I think they studied the project to be said because Loftus-Cheek is facing the touchline. Just let him keep the ball there, and then you might put pressure on that Spitz in though. I mean, it's your push it, but it's going to dive down, and that's the result. As things stand, Milan would go on to 18 points and said Italia's Roma would have a game in hand. They play Parma tomorrow. Happily, having late 9 matches would be 3 clear of the Rossoneri. Inter could join them with victory of the given team at tomorrow. That's how things stand. That's Atalanta down its 7th place at 13 points from 9 matches, 7 draws. And there's something changes here. It has some defending to do. Modric with the free kick. Pressure immediately hits it behind. Yeah, very good defending here by Rossoneri. They'll have a couple of ACMilan players behind them. Particularly support played in by Modric. And Kunku. This will be marked inside the penalty area. Modric with the ball in. Kavniseki immediately misjudged it. SerieAMatch. And Loftus-Cheek now. Might have been Pavlovic's own player in the way. Yeah, I think he actually blocked the shot from outside the box from Salamakis just there. Yeah, he obviously tried to point the ball. He did point out of Charles. Give spell this for me then. Forcing Atalanta back into their own half deep in and captain their own territory. Fatusaki with the corner. And here's a Kunku. So Modric. Kavniseki still saying he was fouled in the initial corner. And Kunku. Fatusaki and Fofana really found a corner. Yeah, the important of that are very weird. Football in another fantastic ball in. For base from Partizan, I think was for Partizan from Kunku. That's the back force that Berna scored and lost the number 33 then. Since I wasn't that easy one, at least you need to find the target. Unlucky this one, but that was a good chance for ACMilan. Fofana unable to wrap his sprint around the ball. Juric said to many up to this day, whether it's inside these, when you create a lot but can't score, you need to stay very calm. Figure out how to find the net. And all of a sudden it's Milan who are pursuing a goal. Loftus-Cheek. Fatusaki had so good goal. Tried to tee out SerieAMatch. Some of Milan's decision making in the final third is questionable this evening. Thought we could have just struck that first time. Samori hit. He won the header. There. No, perhaps silent. So getting out front a bit of joy with Loftus-Cheek on the punt. But they were able to press really only how it always been on them. Ricci. Fofana, Loftus-Cheek. The surprise here, it hasn't made any substitutions beyond the Shemini Adeo. Yes, of course. And we did just this Papa Cole, Kostovic, and Kunku finding Fatusaki. Gets it back again. Udunkur. Sure, Modric should have taken that on had he been able to control it. Hasilic has done well. Brescianini has Whitman in support. Ricci on the cover. It's a word. Yes, fantastic job by Ricci. Timber Shadi was on. Spreading Ricci actually to be so work. Good job by the pod. It's 5 weeks since Atalanta won in Serie A, the 21st of September. That victory at Serie. Side, the balanced arena comes out with the crowd. Gitolo Stadium, they want the whole stadium to make some noise. No sound in Kuku by Bosuda. The Frenchman needs to get that to his feet. Need to have some defending potentially to do. Actually, Kiedy kitten alles LaDea so much in the last 10 to 15 minutes. Brescianini, time and space for fairness, scoring. Hanno was waiting. Pavlovic dominates. Yeah, started by Pavlovic. Now on the substitution. Yeah. Tadvic sitting here and Bellanova. Not really attacking changes. We will debate and discuss the merits of these two switches. Bellanova to Ben Mascotti, Zappacosta can play on either side. And on they stand on. It's another very encouraging display. It should base fine. The more experienced, Benachin City, the Albanian captain. Yep, Hamad of the well, double experience on the palm for Vers Pontevillots. Then Zappacosta, Kivia on the left side with Ben Ladamova on the other side. Ruin face up Pantizagi. Hamel, you just shook your head when you saw those two substitutes coming on. We knew that changes were on the way. Did you expect to see either Skanata or Pestovic or maybe both? Yes, sir. Porter was expecting a more offensive substitution. Fight on what's put up and through the what of this of Stonas Porno. There's 5 units who's at the bench in Serie. Look, I wanted a free kick. Pitch speed, the whistle's gone because they've always played against the referee. Not sure there's any wrong with that from Yusuf Fofana. Referee very close to Mpunku there. Phillips off his cheek. Yeah, just making sure the Englishman couldn't retrieve it. Jim City. Reminded, a Loftus Cheek was involved in the recent England squad under Thomas Tuchel and turned for him. Passionate. Yep, and coming deep. No one operated centrally ahead of the player. To Ketanata very quiet in the second half. Nina Sansov be reminded of his spell in Milan. But it's in Bergamo where he's really shown his potential in Italy at least. Paid for a club. Look at the same side, it's demanded a big fee from Milan Father Yasharik summer. Hasilic, good, but held up by Salamanca's. Zappacosta, Hasilic. Lupa Moxie from Jid City, studies with Isak here. Here, Atalanta, for team, the Centoneria, was side by side. De Ketelada, Bellanova in support. De Ketelada, finding Pasilic. Zappacosta. Goodman. Left by Brescianini, Kosuna. Here. Matching City could turn. Very patient build up there. Citizen. Silanova. This ball in, straight to the goalkeeper. Yeah, he's just build up, position the defending with 11 man outside there on the box. Down when you need the front player like a look, but see Jimmy in his feet. Well, they're pretty quite impressive. The words of Franco Capmi said after that draw in Cremona. Wasn't just talking about the wake-up call. Before he even mentioned the wake-up call, he said, we're on form. It's not an issue with the attack. It's an issue for all of us. If we keep doing like this, it will get tough in Serie A. We all need to knuckle down and give ourselves a wake-up call. It need a win as an answer, sooner rather than later. Was the easier Udinese in the weekend. GoAtalanta, Edison. Especially at the point up here now with the 3 points here. 1 point up is not enough for Varsaja. 30 years ago, draws were particularly costly these days. See, draw 3 games in a row. It's up 6 points. It's equivalent to losing 2 matches. Loftus-Cheek has it for Milan. Look up in support. Loftus-Cheek tried it through. And Kuku now. And Salanakis. Ashenich recovers the ball. Ben Salt's up Acosta short. Has a bit of skill. GoAtalanta. Ashenich. They've got numbers here, Atalanta. Passionate, pulled back by Modric, yellow card, one creation on another. Here by the circuit, foul. Parchik, as if you can see, top the replay here, Pashavich point past the Modric, and he had 3 options. Clever by Modric. That's hard to make you ready, boys. In the middle, maybe the crowd. People say, "Did was it? Should they buy the slow at the bench?" You and I watched that brilliant individual goal from David Sulemana. In a troll, of course, at Juventus. GoAtalanta. It's going to wait for Pavlovic. After Zaghi came away with the ball, the assistant was very close to that. To play Kenny, so that Daddy Lemano on the far side. Yeah, I think I see that's today. They've done what I think in the season after the still the weekend. See if this Milan is referring to the penalty awarded for Napoli for a foul on Giovanni Di Lorenzo by Henrik BigMatchSerieA. Was the assistant who slacked it up to the referee. A bit much controversy. For a few days for match officials in Italy. Did target to 5 senior figures in several clubs. They've been maligned in the media as well. Modric carrying the ball. Modric goes down. It's run for Pavlovic. Squat kid with the ball at his feet. Modric. Ricci. Forwards his touch is heavy. Reshamini. Yeah, but the Polish has got something to do as well, because in the last 2 punch forward at the time, but not all this started defensively. Lights to go forward at the big things up, but Salanakis in Kuku. Made sure he got back on side before showing for the ball. For what Ivan Juric has been saying publicly, really contrasts with what he's showing us here. Where's the desire to win the game? Where are the attacking plays to go and get another goal? Yet still later you got full of tackle risks, not the football match. Nice give and go between Loftus-Cheek and Kuku, 2 former Chelsea players. Loftus-Cheek, Salanakis. That's out by Masudi. Salanakis just stopped playing. Zappacosta. Salanakis might chalk himself into a yellow card if they dig a rating Valerio Vecchia. to Atalanta. Alpenanova, no one in the penalty area. Bresciamini stepping into the box, but he's out of it. Villanova. Samori needs it clear. Has something to work as a policy. Ball into the penalty area, 5v1. Favourite Milan. Lupin. Bresciamini makes the run. Lupin away from Sanadakis. Corner. Debrina. Pablo Pot from last to take the season. Take responsibility. Drive up player. Yunus Musa. Up gets this Paraguay, but lucky Savabcic. Also getting a few words of encouragement. Those will be the final changes because Atalanta made 3. So we're not going to see a change in centre forward. Then again, Savabcic does have a goal in him. He's got a couple already to seize. Bresciamini takes the corner. He had said he's offside yet. It was trying to drive the ball up with his hand. It's fast for state of win with something. Somebody has to gap or didn't partially. That's the gift. Probably, but he didn't touch the ball. No? See if each last. Yeah, there's probably before it crossed the bar, so it should have been a call, and that's why someone's aware of breathing. So Davide Zappacosta, who started on the right, finished on the left. To Atalanta going off, having not named him had this time around against his former employers. Pasalic, rather, I think Rossoneri is the other player coming off. So Samabcic introduced the newest minister who joined Atalanta of low, and when that deal was made public, Milan actually extended his contract. There is a purchase option included, but he's not seen much game time at all, really. After Zidane Juric, just one stop. Another player that Juric could have introduced would have been a good story. Daniel Maldini does have a goal on his CV against the Russia. Maybe that was Spezia. The sisters ago. Yeah, no. Atalanta's got 8 minutes to try to adapt their draw sequence. The reason we're speculating is that Atalanta winning the game is because they need the points a lot more than Milan. Milan at this stage probably would have taken a point this evening had you offered it to them. Missile after not sure against Pisa. We thought they chopped 2 points. Sanacic has lost the ball. Buku. Coaches always say they take things one game at a time, but I'm sure, Mabel, there is a bit of what you see about 3 games in a week. Pisa home, Atalanta away, Roma. You do think to yourself, can we take 6 to 7 points from that trio of matches? Yep. I think you patient. You said word Parkers 2 points. Yeah, ACMilan. SanSiro just picks up where they have been wiped up. And it needs a big draw here tonight. Probably then needs a big run, or otherwise it's been a bad week. Initially, Napoli got a big cut now. He's 9 points out of 9 in 30 games. So we're talking about being possibly a season when the title challenges all drop plenty of points. Napoli have lost 2 that have won their other 7 matches. Partizan with the touch and turn curve back through towards Partizan. Away by Villanova. Musa winning a couple of 50-50s. I mean, winning it first. Yeah. The decided by W. Yeah. He didn't see it. He just had the march about. But he said that, you know, sometimes you have to be sorry at the right moment, like this occasion. Shoots it. Yeah. Some of it. How we say 7 degrees personality near it. See that approach to the second half. Careful not to lose the game first and foremost. Yeah, I think so. I think he's got class. He's out his upper zone. He's lost the starts. He's thinking, it's a couple of games up about that. I think at the end is a good point. Keep going, I start. Don't have to wait this good after this. What probably he's gonna say. For body by somebody to be fair, touch good twice. They give it a low weight twice. Sabori didn't get there. This is Zappacosta. Zappacosta. Fabulous save from Benioff. She a wonderful dove pipping for the French foundation up. Fight body of lost. Quite but he doesn't have to do it to dive the puckle. This is a having the save. The 5 by 1 yard. Most of it first moments here. Was from this side they drowned it. That's what I just scored the winner last time. They made Milan, yeah. Zappacosta tries again. Did this by much. Yeah, no, final way. The bottom corner. You have promoted just one Zappacosta on board the ground. Zappacosta's got it is block at this kind of shots. Good save, but I quite a strong. Your interest in Milan was in. We are seeing why he's such a capable goalkeeper. Might made why Mina, who was so keen to keep hold of him, why they made him their captain as well. Reflexes to keep that ball down from that sort of range as well. You think Shamini, Tamori's looking tired. That's a foul by Bershini on Modric. And I want to throw him under the bus. And he is only just back to a 2-month ban, but I'm struck by the contrast. Void not in a moment. The Salajic has released Bellanova. Bellanova. Salajic. Headed away by Modric. Loftus-Cheek, you get very direct. But straight into touch. I was just thinking about Bedolda Maduka Okoye conceded against Lecce Berisha's free kick when they had a lot more time to watch the ball and you didn't get enough on it. Look with the ball in. No one there to collect it. To fill the box up. But you've had some look one. Had to go how long if you didn't trade back. Is one of the Cita step play and hold the park. It's not the first time City is back up the team. But Osted is headed for a draw, unless there's quite magic moving all the way, or perhaps a mistake from an individual player that could cost it a goal. Yunus Musa with time to bring it down. Samabjic. Pedersen. Jim City steps out. Lipman. Cleverly done. Jim City. And here's Bosa. No never scored in Italian football. It's a corner. Here, one about that Ferroi is tired of that by shift seated. Fritz chill for the number 19. This pass is magic, but look this crushed off. This disappointing. The is total about it. Most of that's just so take my down by surprise. Then it's their reminder. LaDea's jump leg gets a pair of clubs. There have been frequent examples how the years of players scoring against that pair of clubs. We mentioned Maldini to Spencer against Milan earlier on. Sakari Atakave, who scored, which is well the point in its piece at any time. This is gap here making sure Lucy didn't score. Then comes the corner to high pitch in City. The end was waiting. Regnol's lost it. Lipman. Did the referee need to blow there? Could he have not waited for the passage of play to it? The expression considering you are for the body technology. You sold it. Yeah, that's prominent. Then after he's got that spot more than the Edwards. Set play between the two players. The point that Modric. So knock yourself. Wonder whether this is an angry saying to had to counter code hit one again for distance. Grab yourself another late go. This ought to be worth 3 points rather than 1. Costa. Jim City's ball forward. Gapia was aggressive. Loftus-Cheek tried to poke it into the path of Nkunku. Bit more urgency now about Atalanta, but is it too little too late? Edison looking for Brescianini. Had to come and hits it clear. Russo quickly on the scene. Costa. Jim City. That's that third again. Russo. And Costa. With the cross. Dangerous one as well. Yeah, good attended by Gabia to the side of Brescianini because not quite that Atalanta considers was it the favorite position. Good boy again by Costa. Whipped in. If they did him in a healthy fight at it. Certainly like 5 straight draws for Atalanta across all competitions. Too many. So there would be 5 consecutive draws in Serie A as well. 9 games unbeaten, but only 2 wins. Very reminiscent of Thiago Motta's Juventus last season. We love Paregite. Parachitis, drawitis. Baftizaghi. Kosunu was on his toes. Nkunku was Brescianini. There's more to lose there, and he has done so. Nkunku. Sofana. Edison is there to intercept. Costa. Edison once more. Still got plenty of attack. Vina have a player down. Costa. Litha couldn't take it into his stride. Bit of solid. He's on real patching. Stop even a sweaty. Take further one ball they pose at the chance for the ball in the game, but Jalic not being just after this tackle. Slow boy shot eating somewhat. You can see there. Costa did it to free to look what the ditch perfect pass. Brescianini puts in the wake of that challenge on someone at Ricci. Bunch of fans streaming out of the Atalanta Arena now. There were reservations about Italiovic. Take the other from Gasperini, especially after failed spells with Roma and Southampton. Look at Sal by Gapia, yellow card for him. Yeah, now powered it would be the last chance for Tonapart up to beat us to goal. Yeah, this is a yellow card. If he did, it's no be either. That's the ultimate defenders above the 40-79. Yeah, the better communication is between the 2 defenders for what they got. Yep. It's a strange one to Juric because they're not losing games, but nor are they winning them. They're not scoring enough goals. One big defeat. The Champions League out there against Paris Saint-Germain, the reigning European champions. Domestically, I would have stole the bench of them, but similarly, they've already beaten 2 teams. Lecce here, but Serena away. Sahajic with the free kick. That could have gone anywhere. It's gone down for a corner. But that was a good one by Sabazic. Now, Patado, the last chance of the game from corner. So we get this down at the floor. The first half was very entertaining. The second hasn't really produced the same quality, nor the same excitement. but you only meet a moment in football. SerieAMatch delivers. That's it, only one to flee. Lusa has to be careful, and was. Atalanta. And Atalanta need to get the ball forward, else it's going to end one each. Totsunu. Aspetta. Bellanova. Vescianini now. Vichai Pavlovic, shoulder to shoulder. So, follow this. These are Cobb's ball pullet. I mentioned how Litterby's playing. Bershimimi's had to feature for the bulk of this match. Might have just that got to me as well after Pavlovic stopped in towards the hoardings. Pavlovic going across to apologise if he has done any damage. Dagrici played his stretching out. Marco Brescianini, who knows what rougher the outfit had done in the second half. Although, whether he could start against Roma or not in the coming hours and days. But so far, it's been a very good 2 days for Napoli. Milan drawing 100 Pisa, leading early tonight, but unable to make good on that advantage. A point game tonight, Matt. Milan, that once more for Atalanta. It's a game they haven't been able to win. 5 straight draws across all competitions, 5 consecutive draws in Serie A. Ricci's first goal for Milan cancelled out by Yukman's first goal of the season. Juric unbeaten in Serie A but not winning many matches. And Milan losing touch with the league leaders. It ends in Bergamo. Atalanta 1, Milan 1. Both